Welcome to my channel Sci-Fi Love Story. Thanks for watching and please like and subscribe. The first day began like any other on the sprawling campus of the Intergalactic Human Exchange Program. Students from dozens of worlds moved across corridors buzzing with strange languages, the smell of alien food, and the faint hum of anti-gravity systems. Among them, Evan walked cautiously, a human barely out of his teens, clutching a small bag of belongings. He had always thought of himself as ordinary, a quiet student who preferred books over chaos. But nothing could have prepared him for the roommate assigned to him. The door to his new dorm room slid open with a soft hiss. He stepped inside and froze. Standing in the middle of the room was Alya, his assigned alien roommate. She was tall, her skin a pale silver that shimmered faintly under the fluorescent lights. 4 eyes studied him in perfect synchrony. Her posture was calm, almost regal, yet her gaze held something unnerving, an intensity that made Evan swallow hard. "I am Alya of Rhy'kaar," she said in a voice smooth as glass but cold in tone. "You are my roommate." Evan blinked. Hi, I'm Evan." Her 4 eyes tilted slightly. "Acknowledged. I have reviewed your basic biological profile. You are compatible." Evan laughed nervously. "Compatible? For what?" Alya's expression remained neutral, but the room seemed to grow colder. "You will understand in time." And just like that, the first seed of unease settled in Evan's stomach. Strange behavior begins over the next few days. Evan tried to adjust. He treated Alya as politely as possible, though he avoided unnecessary conversation. But it quickly became clear that she was far from an ordinary roommate. At first, it was small things. Alya would stand over him while he slept, silently observing his breathing patterns, occasionally taking notes on a glowing pad. She asked questions that made Evan shift uncomfortably. How fast can a human heart race before it fails? Do human males experience unconsciousness under stress? What is the maximum safe level of physical exertion for humans? Evan tried to laugh these off. "I'm fine, really. Humans are tough." But Alya didn't laugh. She simply recorded his responses, nodding to herself. One evening, Evan found her sitting silently by his desk, staring at a holographic projection of human anatomy. "Do you enjoy this?" he asked, unsure. "Enjoyment is irrelevant," Alya replied. "Observation is required. Humans are unusual." That word, unusual, echoed in Evan's mind. There was something beyond mere curiosity. He felt it deep down. Alya was testing him. The hidden mission. It wasn't long before Evan's fear escalated into panic. One night, while Alya was out, he explored her side of the room. Locked in a small drawer, he found a device, a sleek, metallic tablet with alien symbols and images. Hesitating, he activated it. The screen lit up, displaying charts, graphs, and logs titled, "Human Breeding Trials, First Attempt." Images showed human volunteers connected to strange devices, some unconscious, some only partially conscious, while alien figures conducted tests with careful precision. Evan's stomach dropped. He felt faint, a cold wave of realization sweeping over him. Alya wasn't just curious about humans, she had a mission. And he was the subject. When she returned, she noticed the tablet was open. Her 4 eyes widened slightly, just enough for Evan to see a flash of surprise. Then she closed it calmly. "You have seen what you should not," she said softly. "Do not panic. You are compatible. You will survive the first attempt." Evan swallowed hard. "Attempt? What does that mean?" Alya's expression remained unreadable. "It is routine for my species. Do not worry. You will understand soon enough." Alya studies human reactions. The following days were worse. Alya began what she called compatibility testing. She monitored Evan's heart rate while he performed normal activities. She tested his response to sudden movements, touching his arm to see if he flinched. She recorded his reactions to stress, pushing him just enough to see his limits. Evan tried to maintain his normal routine, classes, meals, studying, but he felt constantly watched. Every twitch, every sigh, every nervous glance was being noted, analyzed. One afternoon, Alya pulled out a small device that looked like a cross between a scanner and a wristband. She placed it on Evan's arm. "This will measure your stress levels during controlled scenarios," she said. "It is harmless. The data is critical." Evan's skin crawled. "Controlled scenarios? Do not worry," she replied. "They are routine. All humans experience minor discomfort. Some faint. That is expected. He forced a laugh, but it was hollow. Every day, every hour, Evan realized he was becoming part of something far larger, and far more dangerous, than he had ever imagined. The rising danger. One evening, Evan overheard Alya speaking quietly on a communicator. Her voice was calm, measured, almost clinical. Subject shows compatibility. Recommend first trial. Stress response within safe limits. Awaiting authorization. Evan froze. His mind raced. First trial? Stress response? Authorization? He realized something terrifying. The first attempt wasn't a metaphor. It was literal. Alya had a plan, and the plan involved him. He tried to confront her that night. "Alya, I know what you're doing. You can't." She cut him off, her eyes calm but unyielding. "You cannot resist. This is natural. Humans are interesting. I do not intend to harm you unnecessarily. You will understand, eventually." The cold certainty in her voice chilled him. She wasn't joking. She wasn't threatening. She was simply stating a fact of her species' biology, and he was trapped in it. The first warning sign. Alya's tests grew more invasive. One night, she asked Evan to lie on his bed while she conducted what she called a physical endurance assessment. She checked his reflexes, monitored his pulse, and measured how his body responded to light pressure and sudden movements. At one point, she tapped his chest lightly, and he felt a sharp jolt of panic. "Please, I'm fine," he shouted. Alya's 4 eyes studied him intently. "Your reaction is noted. You are unusually reactive. Interesting. That word haunted him. She didn't mean it as a compliment. Evan tried to escape, even thinking about running out of the dorm, but the campus security protocols were strict. Alya's species had strength and speed far beyond human capability. Any attempt to flee would be futile. The turning point came when Evan accidentally discovered Alya's journal, an alien device filled with detailed notes. Her handwriting, precise and alien, described humans in exact terms: weak, easily fatigued, easily startled, unpredictable in emotional response, compatible for bonding trials but fragile under stress. First attempt must be gentle but thorough. Evan felt bile rise in his throat. He was living in a constant state of observation, a lab subject in a roommate's body. Alya wasn't just curious. She had a mission, and he was the test case. When he confronted her again, she didn't deny it. "It is true," she said. "I am here to study you. To learn if humans can survive the process. My first attempt will involve you. This is customary." Evan's fear reached its peak. Every nerve in his body screamed for him to run, hide, escape. But he knew that was impossible. Alya was patient, methodical, and, he realized, far stronger than he could ever hope to be. The final suspense. On the last night of Part 1, Alya entered the room as Evan sat on his bed, tense and sweating. She closed the door quietly behind her. "Do not fear," she said, her voice softer than before, but no less chilling. "The first attempt will be gentle. You may feel unusual sensations. Do not panic. You will survive." Evan's mind raced. He realized the gravity of the situation. He was trapped in a room with a being whose biology and culture were alien, whose purpose was to study him, and whose first trial was imminent. He had no idea what she meant by first attempt. His pulse pounded. Every instinct screamed to escape. But the door was locked. And Alya's 4 eyes, calm and unblinking, held him in place. She took a step closer. "Do not move unnecessarily," she said. "This will begin soon." Evan's stomach churned. Every second stretched into eternity. The audiences left at the edge of their seat. The dorm room was silent except for the faint hum of the lights overhead. Evan's heart raced, hammering against his chest. He sat frozen on the edge of his bed, every muscle tensed. Alya stood a few feet away, calm and composed, her 4 eyes fixed on him like a predator studying prey. The metallic tablet from the previous day blinked faintly on her desk, recording every movement, every micro-expression. "Do not panic," she said, her voice calm but firm. "The first attempt will be simple. You will experience nothing dangerous. That is my priority." Evan swallowed hard. "Simple? You call this, whatever this is, simple?" Alya tilted her head, considering him. "Simple for your safety. Necessary for learning." He realized then that he was entirely at her mercy. Whatever this first attempt was, it was about to begin, and he had no way of stopping it. The first test Alya approached with careful precision. Her movements were slow, deliberate, almost clinical. She held a small device shaped like a bracelet, sleek and silver. "This measures physiological responses," she explained. "Heart rate, pulse, stress levels. I must know your limits before proceeding." Evan hesitated. "Limits? Why do I need limits measured?" "Safety," she replied simply. "All first trials are monitored. Humans are fragile." Evan reluctantly extended his arm, and she fastened the device around his wrist. Immediately, soft blue lights began to pulse. Numbers and graphs appeared in Alya's field of vision, tracking his every heartbeat. "Pulse elevated," she noted. "Interesting. Humans are reactive to anticipation." Evan groaned. "You're watching me like a lab rat?" "You are the subject," she said. "It is unavoidable." The first test was awkward and unnerving. Alya had him perform simple exercises, lifting his arms, stretching, squatting, and even jumping slightly, all while she monitored heart rate, sweat response, and minor reflexes. Every time he flinched or hesitated, she made notes. "This is not painful," Alya reassured him. "Only observation. You will survive." And yet, even the minor exercises left Evan exhausted and panicked. Every muscle in his body screamed. His mind spun with the question, what comes next? Alya's observation escalates after the physical tests. Alya's attention shifted. She began studying his emotional responses. She asked him a series of questions designed to gauge stress, curiosity, fear, and decision-making. "What is the maximum fear you have experienced?" she asked calmly. "Have you ever felt trapped with no escape? What actions do you take when survival is uncertain?" Evan answered as best he could, though each question sent chills down his spine. He realized her mind worked differently from humans. For her, these questions were data points, not conversation. She did not ask to comfort him, she asked to measure him. Next came the tests that made him squirm with embarrassment. Alya examined how he reacted to touch, not violent or invasive, but curious and precise. A light tap on his shoulder, a gentle grip of his wrist, observing whether he flinched, relaxed, or showed signs of panic. "I am not sure why this matters," Evan muttered, trying to pull back. "It matters," Alya said simply. "Everything matters. First attempts are trials. Learning. Observation." Evan felt trapped. Every movement, every reaction, was being analyzed. The room that had once felt like a dorm now resembled a lab. Unexpected twist. Alya does not want to hurt him. Hours passed. Evan's muscles ached. His mind was dizzy. He wondered if he would ever be free from this alien scrutiny. And then something unexpected happened. Alya stopped. She lowered her 4 eyes, blinking slowly, a motion almost human in its gentleness. "You are resilient," she said softly. "I expected more, failure. You endure more than I anticipated." Evan paused. "Wait, you don't want to hurt me?" "Not intentionally," she said. "My species does not always consider human fragility. But I choose to ensure your survival. That is unusual for my kind." Relief and fear mingled in Evan's chest. For the first time, he realized Alya was not trying to harm him. She wanted to learn, yes, but she was willing to respect his limits. "Why me?" he asked quietly. "You are compatible," she said. "And interesting. Humans respond unpredictably. It is valuable to study." Evan had no words. Being valuable to study was not exactly comforting. The Rhy'kaar threat, the fragile piece, shattered suddenly. Alarms blared outside the room. Red lights flashed. A booming voice echoed through the corridors. "Subject Human 03 and Trial Volunteer Alpha detected. Capture protocol activated. Secure the human immediately." Evan's heart raced. "What is that? What do they want?" My people, do not understand restraint with humans," Alya said, her calm facade hardening. "They believe the trial must proceed officially. They will not recognize your limits." Within seconds, the door began to shake as metallic claws scratched against it. Through the small window, figures could be seen moving fast, tall, armored Rhy'kaar scientists trained in rapid extraction. Evan froze. He realized escape was impossible. Unless Alya helped him. Alya protects him. Alya moved like lightning, faster than Evan could track. She grabbed him by the arm and pulled him toward the ventilation shaft. Her strength was overwhelming, but her touch was gentle. "Trust me," she said. "I will not allow them to harm you." Evan had no choice but to follow. Together, they ducked into the narrow shaft, the sounds of Rhy'kaar extraction teams pounding behind them. The hum of the ventilation system drowned out their movements, giving them precious seconds. Through twists and turns, Alya led him to an abandoned maintenance tunnel. The metallic walls hummed faintly, and the dim lights flickered as they ran. For the first time, Evan saw a different side of her, a protector, a companion, someone willing to defy her own species for his sake. The tunnel escape hours seemed to pass as they navigated the underground corridors. Evan's muscles burned, but he didn't dare stop. Alya's 4 eyes scanned constantly, ensuring they were not followed. Finally, they reached a dead end. Evan leaned against the wall, gasping for breath. "Where now?" he asked. Alya turned to him, her expression unreadable. "Now, we hide. And learn. Together." Evan frowned. "Learn? What do you mean? You will teach me about humans. About trust. About choices," Alya said. "The official trial is unnecessary. I wish to conduct the first attempt differently. With consent. With understanding. Not force." Evan stared at her, barely able to believe it. The same alien who had terrified him was now asking him to participate, not as a subject, but as a partner in learning. The first attempt begins. Days passed as they hid in the tunnels, away from the Rhy'kaar scientists. Alya's methods were strange but safe. She conducted experiments of a different kind, observing how Evan reacted to stress without harming him, measuring his heart rate while they navigated complex tunnels, testing his endurance during simulated emergencies. Even simple activities, like grabbing supplies from storage, climbing through maintenance shafts, or responding to sudden noises, became lessons in trust and resilience. Evan learned to communicate clearly, to express limits, and to signal discomfort. Alya learned quickly, faster than any human could have imagined. Every day, she adjusted her approach to match his responses. Through it all, Evan realized something profound. Humans were not weak. They were adaptive, resourceful, and capable of resilience that her species often overlooked. The HFY revelation. By the end of Part 2, the dynamic had shifted. Alya, the alien warrior, had learned from Evan just as much as he had survived her trials. She looked at him with respect, a recognition of human potential. "You are stronger than I expected," she admitted. "Your species endures despite fragility. It is impressive." Evan, exhausted but alive, nodded. "You're learning, too. Not just testing me." "No," she said. "I am learning what humans can truly endure. My people underestimate you. They will see the truth eventually. Humans are remarkable." The HFY message hit him hard. In the shadow of fear and danger, Evan realized that survival was not just about strength. It was about intelligence, courage, and adaptability, the traits that made humans unique in the galaxy. Final suspense. Ending just as Evan began to feel safe, a distant vibration ran through the tunnel. The red lights of the Rhy'kaar scanners flashed faintly in the distance. "They are still tracking us," Alya said, gripping his arm. Evan's stomach churned. "So, it's not over?" Alya shook her head. "No. Our first attempt was successful in learning. But the second attempt begins now." The camera would fade to black here in a YouTube video, leaving viewers in suspense, hungry for the next installment. End.